Pawanmuktasana is a practice that everybody can benefit from, whether you are a practitioner or a non practitioner, whether you are into yoga or not into yoga, whether you are into healing or not into healing. Pawanmuktasana is a practice that essentially allows us to release a lot of the tension that we have probably accumulated in our body, which we can release stuck energy, blockages, tension from our body. To this degree, our mind can also become more relaxed and more settled. This practice is a very short practice, a very easy practice, but a very deep practice for those who have not done any movement practices, somatic practices, or yoga practices. And also for advanced practitioners, people who have a daily practice, who have had a daily practice for years. I still do Pawan Muktasana almost every single day because just by means of being a human being, we accumulate stuff. We carry a lot of tension, a lot of stress. So Pawanmuktasana is a very good starter practice to be able to really release what we don't need and create space and almost an invitation for fresh, new energy to enter our body for a sense of lightness and a sense of ease for our nervous system and for our well-being. Before we begin, Pawanmuktasana is a practice of two things. One, noticing and our attention, and two, our breath. As we go through all of these parts of the bodies, it's so important to not do this practice mechanically, but to allow ourselves to be present with our present lived experience. It's so easy for our mind to wander, for us to want to be somewhere else, for us to be planning and thinking and worrying, remembering something amazing or having a daydream. But with Pawanmuktasana, it's very important that we place our awareness where we want it to be, and particularly on each part of the body. I like to think of it as just giving my body love. All the parts of the body that are supporting us every day, internal and external, that we normally don't have an opportunity to say thank you to acknowledge, but just taking a few moments to give a little bit of love, attention, and care to each of those parts of the body that can go unnoticed for a very long time. It's not often that we can spend time with our ankle or our wrist or our fingers. It's not often that we can really give our attention to them. So in this practice, it's very important that we can allow ourselves to notice and bring our mind back again and again to the part of the body that we are focusing on moving. We might be able to notice things like tension or tightness in particular areas. We might be able to notice things like lightness or warmth. We might be able to notice things like heaviness or a fluidity. We might notice ease. The second part is our breath. On the inhale, we can imagine that we are taking in fresh new energy that is enriching, enlivening all of our cells, which is actually happening every time we take an inhale. That is fresh new energy pouring into all of the cells of our body for rejuvenation. And when we exhale, we can imagine that we're releasing more and more tension. And actually, the exhale is how our nervous system relaxes a little bit more. So on the exhale, we can really just not only imagine, because it's actually what is biologically happening, but we can just really try to bring to mind that every time I exhale, I'm releasing something. I'm releasing something that's old, something that's stuck, something that doesn't need to be here anymore. Allowing a lightness, I'm allowing space, I'm allowing healing to happen in my body. You don't really need much for Pawanmuktasana, something comfortable to practice in and a comfortable space beneath you. You may choose to sit with your legs crossed, legs out, or standing. Bring your attention to your toes. We start with rolling our toes 10 times in both directions. All practices or all movements we will do 10 times in both directions, and it's really helpful to keep a count. This is one way to keep track of the mind and notice if the mind has wandered. This movement is best to do standing up or with legs out, and you can just scrunch the toes if you are sitting down with your legs out. On the inhale, your toes are pointing towards you, and on the exhale, you are scrunching your toes. Next, we are flexing our foot. On the inhale, the foot is pointing towards us. On the exhale, it's pointing downwards towards the floor. Giving our entire attention to this movement and keeping count to keep track of our mind and make sure that our mind is connected with our body and our breath. Inhale, and the feet are pointing towards the body. Exhale, they are pointing away from you. Just being mindful on every inhale and exhale, going at the pace of your own breath, noticing if you are speeding up or noticing if you are intentionally trying to slow your breath down, just allowing the breath to be natural. Next, giving some love to our knee and the movement of our leg. You can do this practice either standing up or lying down. And on every inhale, the leg stretches out. On the exhale, the knee bends towards the chest. Be gentle with your body. You do not have to force your knee to go exactly to your chest area. Just getting a good stretch or bend in the knee to your capacity is already more than enough. 10 times on both sides and giving all of your attention to the movement of the leg and the knee, noticing if your mind wanders and bringing it back to what you are doing in this moment. As we do this practice, you may hear some snaps, crackles, and pops, and that's okay. Just make sure that you are not in pain. Now, giving some love to our hips. Our hips store a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of emotions. Feel free to do this movement either standing up or in tabletop position. We are getting into all those areas that normally can be overlooked and just getting all of that stuck energy out. Taking a moment to check in with yourself. Where is your attention and where is your breath? Inhale, arms above the head, shoulders relaxed, and bending over to the right side and allowing a side stretch. You can do this movement either standing up or sitting on the ground in a cross leg position. Also possible with the legs out. Just counting for 10 seconds. The inhale allows you to become a little bit more longer, very, very slight movements. And on the exhale, you may be able to bend a little deeper and go a little bit more deeper into your side body. And now we move to the other side. Feeling any sensations that may be arising in the body as you give your attention and your time to stretching the side body. Now we're going to give some love to our upper body, starting with our fingers. Inhale and feeling a really good stretch, all of that tissue between the fingers stretching. Exhale, tightening, tightening, tightening. Focusing your attention on the wrist. Inhale, exhale, bending the wrist downward. Inhale, upward. Making sure that you're still able to keep your count. You may notice that in the video, I perhaps lost my count a few times. And it's interesting because whenever we lose the count, we can be sure that the mind has wandered off. Tucking the thumb, folding the fingers on top of the thumb, and then rotating our wrists in one direction. Giving all of our attention, some love, some care, some goodness to our wrists. Once we've moved 10 times in one direction, rotating to the other direction. Now we can release our fists, palms facing toward the ceiling, just bending our elbows, hands touching the shoulder. Inhale, extend the arms outward, and on the exhale, we can bend the elbows. All of your attention on the movement of your arm. And on that last count, letting the hands sit on the shoulder and allowing the elbows to come together, opening the chest on the inhale. Exhale, elbows touch. And then reversing our direction, getting into our shoulder blades, allowing ourselves to stretch our back and our shoulders and get into all of the tension that we may be carrying in our upper body. Stretching the arms out on both sides, almost as if you are in between a wall. So a bit of tension that you feel. The fingers are wide. You feel all of that tissue on the insides of the finger. And then we're going to rotate our arms slowly forward 10 times. And then once we're done rotating forward, giving all of our attention to our arms, we reverse our direction. You can know if you are doing this movement correctly because even though it is so simple, you may feel a bit of a burn. Now we'll spend some time giving some TLC to our neck. On the inhale, our neck is center, and on the exhale, our neck faces upward towards the sky. Inhale, center, exhale, facing downward towards the ground. And that is 1. So we'll do that movement 10 times, surrendering our attention to our neck. On the final count, bringing the neck back to center, and on the exhale, turning the neck to the right side. Inhale, center, exhale, left side. Inhale, center, exhale, release. Inhale, center, exhale, release. Noticing if there is a tendency to rush here or speed up, and if so, intentionally slowing down and realigning with the breath. Coming back to center, inhale, dropping the neck down. Exhale, right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left side. Like this for 10 times. Working on stretching the back side of our neck. Back to center, dropping the neck towards the back. Inhale, center. Exhale, right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left side. All of our attention to our neck, stretching the front side of our neck, allowing the head to drop and become heavy. Checking in with yourself. Where is your attention? Back to center. Lift the right arm up. Place your hand gently over your left ear, just a little bit of pressure, stretching out the left arm, and then feeling a stretch in the neck, shoulder, and arm. Holding here for 10 seconds and allowing yourself to be with your body. Releasing, coming back to center, and then moving to the other side. Now we are going to do a little bit of ear pulling and an ear massage. This helps stimulate our vagus nerve, and this nerve plays an extremely important role in regulating our nervous system, helping us shift the body out of stress into a more relaxed state. So you can just pull on your ears from bottom, middle to top a few times. And then we're going to massage our ears. Gentle stimulation around the ears can support helping the body settle and our mind feel more calm. This is a simple nervous system regulation practice that you can do at any time. You don't have to necessarily do it a part of this series. If you ever encounter a moment of stress or just need a little bit of calm, this is something you can have in your toolbox. Now we're going to massage the area behind the head, right under our skull. This helps release tension in the small muscles at the base of our neck. We hold a lot of stress here, especially from our posture or long hours looking at screens. So a soft massage in this area can really help to relieve a lot of tension and support relaxation in our nervous system. Coming into tabletop position on an inhale, our chest opens, arch in our back. Exhale, our spine curves and our head faces towards our belly. Being mindful here with the intensity of our back arch. Some of us have more flexible lower backs than others, and that is okay. This position gently mobilizes our spine. Our spine is like the highway of our body that connects the lower body to the upper body, protecting our spinal cord. This carries messages between the brain and the rest of our body. So keeping the spine mobile helps the whole system function more smoothly. After the last repetition, coming back into tabletop position and then slowly making your way into child's pose. Child's pose gives the spine a gentle stretch and allows our body to rest. When our forehead connects with the ground, it can help to signal to our nervous system that it is safe to relax, that we are safe, that we are okay, and that we can settle. Now we can slowly make our way into Shavasana. This is a posture of letting go, releasing all effort and simply existing. Allow yourself to feel the heaviness of your body on the ground, knowing that you are supported and held by the surface beneath you. And you can let the body become a little lighter with each breath. There's nothing to do here besides rest and allow the body to integrate the practice. Stay here in Shavasana for as long as you like, but try to give yourself at least 2 minutes to fully rest and absorb the practice. When you are ready, inviting a little movement into the body, stretching out the arms above the head, stretching the legs and the feet, gently wiggling the fingers and the toes. One last deep release. Take a deep breath in and tighten the entire body. Tighten the face, the stomach, the thighs. Make tight fists with the hands. Grip the toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold it for a moment and then release everything with a long exhale. Let's do it again. Scrunch up the face. Tighten the hands. Squeeze the entire body and then let it go. Release. One more time, squeeze everything tightly, tightly. Stomach, thighs, tighten the face, grip the fist, hold it for a moment. One last deep exhale out through the mouth. Let it go. When you are ready, bending the knees, coming onto the right side of your body in fetal position. This position is so soft and protective. It's almost like being in the womb. Take a moment to pause here. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels comfortable. Just noticing how your body is feeling after the practice. From here, you can slowly press your hands to the ground and bring yourself up into a seated position, carrying this sense of attention, ease, love, and care with you throughout the rest of your day. Practices like this seem so simple, but they are extremely powerful reminders that caring for the body, calming the nervous system, regulating the nervous system does not have to be complicated. You can take a few deep breaths here, reflecting on self care, what self care actually means, what living a soft life actually means, and how a regulated nervous system, how caring for our body in the most simplest ways can invite a sense of self care and safety into our lives, and how we just flourish so much more when we are not in survival mode, how we are so much more joyful, creative, regulated, kind, compassionate, all the things just by simply taking care of ourselves in this way. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you're able to take these tools into the rest of your day. See you next time.